welcome to my channel. Yes, I am so excited to be back with everyone. Today we are going to talk about another thing that is near and dear to my heart, which is interior design. So I don't know about you, but I think it's important to be in a place that you absolutely love. And for me, that means being in a place that looks like HGTV. So today I am going to be talking about how to do a vanity. And I'm going to do a DIY vanity. I know at this point, some of you have seen like pre-made vanities and all that stuff. And I did do that maybe, I'm gonna say like 6 or 7 years ago. But then it was about like maybe 5 years ago that I was like, oh, like I could actually like build one that makes sense like for the space to where you're actually able to maximize it. So right now I am in our bedroom and there is this nook that I am going to transform to hopefully be a functioning and effective vanity. So just as I like to do with everything else, I kind of have like this vision of how I think it makes the most sense to kind of like do like what I think it makes the most sense to do and stuff like that. I actually have a drawing. Again, don't judge me, okay, y'all? I am not an artist. I just really like interior design. So with that said, if I was to kind of like share a little bit, like essentially what I imagine is having like a wood plank right here. And then on that wood plank, essentially having all of like my makeup stuff. So essentially, you know, makeup stuff, and this has drawers, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean it out. So just like makeup, and then having a mirror, and then that would essentially like hang right above. And then actually, of course, I need a chair. So with this area, I'm thinking about having 2 shelves. I have spray paint, and honestly, I've never spray painted shelves, so I don't know if that's gonna be a hit or miss. That might make it into the design, but hey, it also might not. So let's go. Okay, so there's a few things that I'm gonna need for this project. One being spray paint. So I am going to be spray painting potentially. Not sure how that's gonna work out, but potentially I'll be spray painting some shelves that I already had, but they're white. And because the theme of this room is looking kind of more like black and gold and, you know, kind of within that color scheme, I wanted to make sure that this was also kind of in line with that. So assuming we use these 2 shelves, and we would go ahead and just kind of have it like this on this particular wall. So it'd be, you know, similar kind of like this, and then one above. So this essentially 2 shelves. It doesn't matter if they're pre-made. It doesn't matter if you try to make them yourself and just go ahead and, you know, cut out some wood. It shouldn't really matter. But I think for the design that I'm going for, definitely the color matters. So if it's not already in like a black shelf thing, you know, and you're trying to do something like I am, which is to recycle, so you're not wasting money or resources for that matter, spray paint is helpful. So this will be something that I need. Another thing is, dun dun dun, yes, a drill. And I don't necessarily think it matters what type of power drill, as long as it is a form of power drill, because you will not be able to use a nail. Why? Because you are actually penetrating a block of wood. So, this is the block of wood that I have from my last vanity. I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up a little bit. Just probably with like a white bee and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think this needs to be black because it actually matches with our vanity. So I think that it'll be really kind of like a nice like continuity, because there are wood pieces to kind of break up the black, so it's not too much black. And essentially, and I think you see this from the last time, like I got this actually from Home Depot, so they can probably cut it. I think I actually got it for free because they didn't want it. But you know, they probably shouldn't charge more than $10 for like this, you know, block of wood. And then I also got this from Home Depot too. And essentially what I did was I just drilled it in 1 and 2. You'll see I have to re-drill this because this was from like years ago. This was in storage. To where essentially it's set up like this, you know, and it'll be kind of like that on the wall. So make sure, if you don't already, if you want to try to do this, then you could go ahead and just get, you know, any form of wood. Make sure that it's smooth on the edges so you don't cut yourself. But then you can get this for a couple of bucks and then just drill it in. So that's one of the reasons why you can't have a hammer, because that's just going to be bad news. It's going to mess up the wood. You don't want that. At least that's how it's been in my experience. So I would definitely recommend having a power drill. So that's another thing that I will be needing for this project. And then I bought this. I'll go ahead and I'll take the peel off once I'm actually done. But it's this really cute black mirror. I'm really excited, again, just kind of going with the theme of black. And I'll probably have to go ahead and hang that up. So that'll be really exciting. A few perfumes and so on and so forth, because that's what I envision probably having on my shelf. And then for my actual makeup, I just have a few of these. I need to clean this out. This is essentially like where my makeup will be. And then on top of that, again, just kind of having like additional like pieces of makeup where kind of like, you know, anything that's tall, like my eyebrow brushes and like all that other stuff will go here, and then this will go on top of the wood plank that I shared. So those are pretty much all the materials that I need, along with, of course, nails and making sure that I have the right drill bit, as well as my handy dandy, what I call balancer. I don't know if that's the right name for it, but I call it a balancer because it balances whether or not it's actually straight, and that's helpful for me. So with that said, I guess I can just go ahead and get started on the actual wood plank, and we can go from there. Okay, so now since I have pretty much like put the nails in here, I have my vanity chair that I had from a couple years ago. No need to buy another one. It's clear, so it pretty much matches like anything. Just to try to kind of see like where exactly is the most comfortable for me to actually be like using my actual vanity on the day-to-day. So I'm actually just gonna put this here as well, just to kind of get a better understanding of like where it makes the most sense to be. Okay, so at this point, I think I'm gonna ditch the chair so I can have a little bit more room. And bringing in my balancer, or my scale, for those of you who like to call it a scale, and my handy dandy drill with my nails. So, and they're about this big, decent size. So let's go ahead and see. Hopefully I won't need Anthony's help. That was a little hard doing it by myself. I think honestly, last time I had Anthony's help, where I think like he was holding it and then I was just drilling. But if you do end up doing it by yourself, like I am doing, then what I went ahead and I just made the hole first for where the nail should have been. So, and I did that for both sides, where I kind of placed the nail in first to where, you know, it wasn't like flopping or flipping around, and then I just continued to drill it in. So if you are doing it by yourself, that's a good tip that I just figured out myself that I guess now I'm sharing with y'all. So as you see, it is balanced, or maybe you don't see, but from what I can see, it's actually balanced, so that's exciting. So, trying to find it. I keep sitting on stuff, y'all. That's not really that helpful. But I know that there are some other nails that I should be drilling in. Found it. Okay, tip number 2. I wasn't expecting to provide tips, but it looks like I need to for myself. Maybe for you, not sure. Maybe keep the nails in one place. I probably should have done that. Okay, so now since I'm basically done with this piece, I'll probably have to like drill a little bit more later on, but I'm starting to get sweaty. So I'm gonna move on to the next piece of this, which is my mirror. So right now I brought back my chair just to kind of see like how I'll be using it more practically. And the fact that, you know, I'm gonna be looking pretty much like straight ahead. So I need to be able to kind of see like how I will practically kind of be using this. This looks like a pretty good height. It looks pretty reasonable. And then also too, it doesn't look awkward comparing it to kind of like the rest of the room. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and just mark on the center of this. I'm just putting a little pin on a little dot, and then that way I kind of know like where to drill, similar to what I did with this. You see it doesn't have anything for me to drill it in. And then I go ahead and use my hammer. Ugh. Handy dandy hammer. It's hammer time. So I think y'all can see this. It's a knob. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on there, but just to be sure, I'm actually also gonna put some command strips on this, so I'll be back. This is kind of how I decided for it to look. Not too fancy, not fancy at all. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hang this. Ooh. And then to my liking, once it's to my liking, I'm just gonna apply pressure to the middle and to the top, okay, and to the bottom. And then now, since I'm all done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the plastic. All right. It looks so good. I am so excited. And at this point, I can go ahead and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and clean off the mirror because it got a few smudges from my thumbs when I was doing that. Clean this off and then clean these off. And then I think we're gonna go ahead and then attempt to go ahead and put some of these bad boys up and spray paint them. Okay, so now it's time to attempt to put this on my shelves. We'll see. It says it's recommended to use outside, but I'm just gonna do it inside. So hopefully that's not a bad decision. Reading is fundamental. It says to open, use a screwdriver. Okay, so we'll see. I'm just gonna go ahead. I have it in a box right now only because I'm doing kind of bootleg, and I'm not doing it outside, so I don't really want it to get on our floor or anything like that. So, so you all can kind of see. Oh no! And that's a good thing I had in the box. Making sure it's even. It looks pretty good. So far, and I have it to the bottom too. Just some gently scooting it around. Gently scooting. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Oh crap. Oh, let me clean up a little bit. Okay, so I think we're pretty much okay at this point. I think the most ideal probably would have been to just buy a black one, but because we've already been kind of spending a lot of money, and I also don't believe in wasting, I figured why not use these shelves that we already have. So I think it'll be fine. And I guess we'll just have to see. I don't know how long we have to wait for. Dries to the touch in 20 minutes, to handle in 1 hour, and fully dry in 24 hours. So that's a day. I don't think I'm really excited about that. All right, so you see this, and I'm just getting another box, similar to what I did for the other one. I'm getting my nails messed up. No! How do I take it off? Okay, tip number, I don't know how many tips we're on, but wear gloves when you're doing this. So I'm actually gonna get some gloves and then I'll finish up the job. Okay, so that was a long day. I had to let it dry, but I think the results are pretty good. This is for one of them. This is for the other. I think it turned out pretty good. I like the fact that it's matte. It kind of matches with the mirror frame. So as you see, I have these. It came with essentially like places for me to kind of like drill it in. I am really hoping that this works, y'all. After I drill in the holes like the directions told me to, then I will go ahead and I guess maybe hammer this in or screwdriver in. I'm not sure, whatever the directions say. And then from there, I will hook it on to the back of this, and then hopefully it works, no problem. I'm a little nervous that it won't work, but I'm just gonna claim life over it. Amen. So we'll see. Proud of myself. I doubt that I did it 100% right, but you know what? It is sturdy. I'm gonna go ahead right now and just kind of clean it off with the makeup wipe because I'm just like really lazy and kind of tired. put my perfume on it. So I will probably not use the shelf again. It's really cute, but it is a lot of work, unlike other shelves that I've used. Or if I use it again, I will likely just pay for it to be professionally installed. I'm not even gonna lie. Or maybe I'll just have Anthony install it, but I'm pretty sure he's done with this as well. It's really cute though, right? I love the design so much. It's so cute. And now it's time for the final reveal. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in as I put together my Vanity DIY style. Please give this video a thumbs up, comment below. What are some things that you learned? I know I learned a few things, like wearing gloves, for example, that honestly I probably should have known before. Share it with someone. Maybe they might get inspired to do their own vanity to make it fit their space. I know one of the things that I really appreciate about this is the fact that this would have otherwise been a plain wall, okay? It would have otherwise been a plain wall. But the beautiful thing about this is now we're actually able to utilize it where it's like it kind of draws you in, and it also adds a bit of practicality to the space. So it's not just for show. There are show pieces in it, like the mirror, for example, which is really cool. But this is very practical for a day-to-day use. And it makes my husband happy because there's no longer gonna be makeup in the bathroom. So if you like this video again, just go ahead, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. And guess what? I'll be back next week where we will be doing dun 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 dun, the big reveal for the bedroom. This is just one part of the bedroom, but there's other parts, okay? And the big reveal is going to have this and the rest of the bedroom. So I am so excited. I'll see you next week. Until next time.